खुशी का रिश्ता नया रहा बिछो रहा है खींचे मुझे कोई डोर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर है रब्बा तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर है रब्बा तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी
खुलती फिजाएं खुलती घटाएं सर पे नया है आसमां चारों दिशाएं हंस के बुलाएं जो सब हुए हैं मेहरबान
हमें तो यही रब्बा कसम से पता है दिल दे नहीं कोई जोर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर है रब्बा तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी ओर है रब्बा तेरी ओर तेरी ओर तेरी
पहली नजर में कैसा जादू कर दिया तेरा बन बैठा है मेरा जिया जाने क्या होगा क्या पता इस पल को मिलके आज ही ले जरा मैं हूँ यहाँ तू है यहाँ मेरी बाहों में आ भी जा ओ जाने जा दोनों जहां मेरी बाहों में आ भूल जा ओ जाने जा दोनों जहां मेरी बाहों में आ भूल जा
Let's go. Tell them boyfriend up me up my gun. Them tell them come on. Hey yo, this is Escom. Say DJ Escom. So you bad.
Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you so, baby. I love you. हर दुआ में शामिल तेरा प्यार है बिन तेरे लम्हा भी दुश्वार है धड़कनों को तुझसे ही दरकार है तुझसे राहतें तुझसे चाहते हर दुआ में शामिल तेरा प्यार है बिन तेरे लम्हा भी दुश्वार है धड़कनों को तुझसे ही दरकार है तुझसे राहतें तुझसे चाहते तू जो मिली एक दिन मुझे मैं कहीं हो गया लापता ओ जाने जा तो
Well, I have to say good night to the handsome Mr. Vishal Hardwar. How are you doing, sir? Good night to your fellow lioness also. He's part of Lions Club, so a fellow lion indeed. Mr. Raymond Bacchus, good night to you. Well, good night. Happy Monday. It's Big Mouth Monday. What can I say? Good night, Ken. How are you?
Well, good night, Shanaz. How are you doing?
Well, you know I am full because guess what I had for dinner? Make one guess, Ken.
Well, I know where you eat, so it's a good food, good Indian food. Dal and rice and
Fried
Karaila.
and smoked herring. Oh my goodness, that is indeed a good Monday night food. I must say thank you to the chef. I am full and I'm going to be loud tonight.
I know that you're going to be loud. You're going to be talking all night.
So thank you, and thank you to our wonderful viewers for being on here. We were debating if we should come on the live because I see so many of our colleagues on live, right?
Yes,
but then
yes.
Ken said we have our own people, we have our own friends
That's
who are
right, that's
actually
right.
waiting for us. So guys, we want to thank you in advance. The beautiful Shanti Singh, how you doing? Mavis Kissoon, how you doing? Mr. Warrior is locked on. What
Yes,
do you
the
know?
bedroom
it's
bully.
time for trouble. Hey, good night to the beautiful Kavita Ramkissoon, Mavis Kissoon. Yes, Apache. You see, Apache know what I had for dinner.
She don't eat pork pie.
You see, 20 years, I think. I hope he knows that. So I had some good Bajan food. Dal, rice,
Bajan.
fried Karela. Well, smoked herring is not Bajan, right? But
That's right. It's good food, and we like that. I had some food. Actually, I had some Sept curry just before you came, and went to bed and sleep a little bit.
talking about eating healthy, and there we have our DJ from Canada. Guess who's that? Locked on.
Selecta Abid, that's the man.
Right, the guy in Toronto, Canada, Selecta Abid. I know Ken was watching us the last time I was in Canada. I was in his studio, and I must say, I told you about his studio. Fantastic studio indeed. That is one of the best studio I've seen so
really?
far. That's right. Aside from mine, Selecta Abid. Aside from mine, yours is really good. So
Well,
thank you.
You know, the other good thing about Selecta Abid is that he has a great personality. And one of the things, I hope his wife is not watching, but I know he captivate them girls.
Oh,
with-
yeah, all them
you
ladies.
know.
You got talk to me, lady. Talk to me.
Yes, yes. And that's a good thing. One of the things with the radio, you have to, well, our show is different, so I can talk about this because we are sit down, chit chat. But he has that personality where he play good music and he dance and move a little bit.
He entertain. What
Yes,
can I
yes.
say? He's an entertainer. So yes, we always support all of our DJs right here on Island Zone Radio. Most of the time on 24/7, I'm locked on the app that is www.islandzoneradio.com. So if it's not working, I know. And if DJ Selecta is on, I know also.
He is watching. He's watching. He just said thank you.
So thank you, Yami. How you doing? Shanti Singh, thank you very much. You know, it might be cold in NYC, but if you use your imagination, we could be in the British Virgin Islands.
And that's what we are in the background. British Virgin Islands. And so, Shanaz, as we were talking, should we come on or not? Because, you know, there's so many people on the radio at this time. And like I said, we have our own set of viewers that's listening to us. And one of the things that we always try to do, Shanaz and myself, is to really keep things clean with you guys. And we really do appreciate you guys watching us. You know, we are not going to be, I mean, I could dance, but I don't want to
and
bring the
we were talking
dancing
what
thing.
kind of shows have the most share, and it's the shows that you could dig your head, scratch scratch anywhere, talk anything, and we don't want that. I always tell Ken, quality of viewers. I don't want quantity. I don't need 1,000 or 1,000,000 people watching us. I love you guys. I love our friends and our following that who's locked on waiting for us on a Monday, because you know what, we both were monitoring the Facebook over the weekend, and we see what's being shared. We see our own friends sharing nonsense. What can I say?
Yeah.
Our own friends, they're into nonsense, and they would share. They will send it to you. Sending it to you is sharing. So if you send it to 10 individuals in your messenger, that is sharing. That is partaking in that nonsense that's on Facebook. I'm not into that. I don't have time. Most of the time, I don't open them. Or if I browse and I see someone is talking about education, I always say, and I wanted to share about a wonderful clip about this guy who changes his lifestyle. And I'm always talking, our platform is about your wealth, your health. Your wealth is your health, you know?
Absolutely.
If you're healthy, you're wealthy in health. So, you know, eating well, that's our platform. So we want you guys to share our passion. And for you who love that, thank you for being here. Underground song on Alvin Ramsroob. Good night to you. Yes, thank you, Shanti. If you're outdoor, wear a mask. I had my mask also. I tested, so I am safe. Mavis Kissoon, how you doing? We're going to talk about that. That's a whole segment into our talk. That is one of the reasons why we got on here. The beautiful Roxanne Walker, how you doing? Good night. Thank you very much. And we know who we're sharing. Like Roxanne is always sharing.
Oh my
Shanti
God,
is
yeah.
always sharing. The beautiful Lana Maharaj Budu is always sharing too. And you know, they're into what you watch on TV, what you spend your time watching on this gadget that we call, you know, on Facebook Live matters to us. It tells you what kind of person you are. I wouldn't pass a prayer, no matter if it's Christian, Hindu or Muslim prayer, I would pause, I would listen to it. But now there's so much nonsense on Facebook. I don't have that time to dedicate to nonsense.
That's right. You want to share
So
positivity.
be selective of what you're watching. Be mindful of what you're watching and what you're sharing, because we can know the nonsense get more share, but I don't care. I want the quality of viewers we have. I don't care about 1,000. Hey, Zabida Mohammed, how you doing? Caring, sharing is caring. That's right. Underground Sound is in the building. My beautiful friend from Toronto said good night to you, Ken. That is the beautiful Nasima Rohaman.
Oh, that's my girl. I know her. I know it's your friend.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to say all my ladies friends stay this way.
Yeah, she seemed like a very, and the truth of the matter is, Shanaz, as we were talking about Nashima, a lot of our viewers, some of us have met together, but, we
by chatting
connected
or getting that
by
good
them
morning
and
message,
good morning.
you could see their personality.
Yeah,
by,
absolutely.
By you seeing what they're sharing, you share something in common. They're always sharing positivity and love, and that's what we are here to promote. The world needs more love and more positive vibes. Don't bring down anyone, and don't share negative stuff.
Also, Shanaz.
One God, of course, select a bit. Thank you very much. And we will talk about that. Shanti Singh, good night to you. Thank you. Chico, how you doing? Good night to you. Mr. John from Queens, our famous YouTuber. Hey, Bibi Zabila, how you doing? Good night to you. Apache Warrior. Bapsi Madramutu, how you doing? Good night to you.
Shanaz, I have to say thanks to John from Queens. I don't get it. Sometimes I forget to say thanks to him, but every day in my mind I'm saying thanks to him, because you know what? He's so dedicated to our show and a lot of shows. He would take this show, put it on YouTube, and we can't say thanks to him enough for doing this wonderful job. And so, John, I want to say thank you very much for putting our show on YouTube.
That's right. Our number one guy when it comes to YouTube. He always upload our show. And from my very first show, sometimes I have to tell John, take away all those old programs. From my very first show on
really?
Shanaz Musical Sensation, John is my friend. We have so much good memories, because when I want to shoot outdoor, I will say, John, come on, let's go. We get something to eat. We'll get something to drink. We have a good time. And that is what life is about. You appreciate the person you have in your life. Show them a little gratitude. And John knows me so well. Last year for my birthday, he got me a Dunkin' Donut gift card.
And and the truth of the matter is, he's not Indian either. He's a white boy, if you guys want to know. And so that's good. He's
and
embracing
he's promoting our culture
Yes.
and our people. So for someone not to show him love, it's something besides,
And in a positive way, I got to say.
Yeah, he's always promoting everyone. Zabida Mohammed, good night to you. Afra Sankar, how you doing? Good night. The famous John from Queens and Selecta Abid. There's, of course, one God, and this time is Navratri time. And, a lot of folks, I know DJ Bolt said, hey, SMS, where is the Diwali float? This year, I was super excited because we have our own DJ to be in our float. All my friends, I only have to call upon my friends when I want a DJ, and I have them. But Selecta Bolt is our DJ for the Ken Ramprasad show on Sunday, for Chit Chat with Shanaz on Monday, and the dancing sensation on Thursdays, the musical sensation on Thursday. Our number one guy is Selecta Bolt, and he's excited. And this year, due to COVID, we're not even having a virtual Diwali show. But hey, maybe we'll have some repeat clips.
That's right.
To put you guys in that vibes, because Navratri and Diwali is a special time in Queens. Here we are, all our culture in Queens, promoting love and unity when it comes to Diwali. Last year, Ken was a judge out there. He had an awesome time.
Yes.
The floats, everyone put so much effort into it. So I want to say happy Navratri to each and every one of you celebrating happy Diwali. Meenawati Ramprasad, how you doing? Good night to you. How was your Monday? I am super excited. I'm super hyped because I'm off tomorrow.
Because not only that, she eat dal and rice. Shanaz,
you know what they say? You eat dal and rice to make you feel nice.
That's right. So I'm gonna cook dal and rice for her every Monday night. But Shanaz also, when we decide to come on air every Monday, like sometimes Shanaz, what are we gonna talk about? And when I look at our screen and I see people like Alvin Ramsarup, he's a DJ in Schenectady, always making time to watch our show and to make positive comments.
He shares everybody positive talk and their show. He don't promote nonsense. That's what I love for people. If you keep on promoting nonsense, they will keep on doing nonsense. Tomorrow, if Ken do a funny show, let's get Ken off air, catch him off guard. Doing something silly and post that video up, guess what? You might have the highest views.
Yeah. But, it's not about that. It's about quality. And before we go, I see there's someone, Toyo, watching from St. Lucia. I love that when we have people from different parts of the world watching us. So big up to Toyo from St. Lucia.
The beautiful Roxanne Walker is also watching us from out of state. The beautiful Auntie Nalini Naidu. I hope you're sharing that show. And DJ Play, he knows when he's on Island Zone, he don't play with those videos, you know. And I'm always supporting all our wonderful DJ because they put such an effort into coming on air, choosing their music, especially if they're playing videos. And we get blocked all the time. My Thursday video is still blocked. It's still restricted in 4 countries. I'm thinking United States and Canada are the 2 top 10,
Jesus.
right? So
I see your good
thank
friend
you, guys.
Sonia Chandani is on. And that's why, we're together. I let Shanaz do a lot of talking, so I get to watch who is really watching, so we can say hello.
Raj Singh, how you doing? Good night to you. Auntie Nalini, thank you very much. Underground Sound, the beautiful Jean Bajan. Interview with John from Queens. You never know who will be on the Shanaz musical sensation. Maybe John will be dancing the Gunga Ghana live on Thursdays.
Yeah, he could dance, yes.
And he did get a few moves. He's been apple picking, and I'm following John because he's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of the community, I must say. So if you want to see all my very first show on Shanaz musical sensation, which I was going to tell him to take it down from YouTube, it's on the famous John from Queens
we can't take
YouTube
it down. We got to leave that
channel.
there. Vicky Ramlagan, thanks for watching. Baby Frazila, thanks for watching. Chico, thanks for watching.
Hey, the beautiful, and I remember this name. I want to go talk about this. Brooke Yelena Do Not. Wasn't that your guest from yesterday?
Yes, she's on.
Yes, good night to you. How you're doing? We want to talk about that topic. And, I always say thankful for life. Let's have an attitude of gratitude. And being alive is a present every day we open our eyes, or being able to breathe in that air is a blessing. So we'll talk about your interview yesterday. Hey, David, and how you doing? Good night to you. The beautiful Lana Maharaj is praying for the safety of everyone. And you know what? With all that's going on tomorrow, Lake Ram Narayan, good night to you. With elections and everything, guys, stay safe. If you don't have to be outside, stay indoors, stay in a crowd, because tomorrow things might get a little messy in certain areas.
Yes. I'm going to vote tomorrow.
So yes, and put up your thumbprint, tag us. We want to see if you guys are going out to vote. I have co-workers who are rooting for the winning team, I must say. They want to see change, but they're not going out to make that change. So, they're going to be complaining when the election is done and their party that they wanted to vote for, they didn't win. But hey, if you don't go out and make a difference, it's your voice, your vote. You're electing those people up there to do what you want to do. And don't complain. I don't want to hear nobody complaining that, who is there not doing a fantastic job.
You guys getting dal and rice tonight with some Karaila.
Hey, Gayatri Dudnat, good night to you. Gayatri Devanarayan. Nizam Khan, thank you very much. How you're doing? Nizam is watching us from Toronto. He's always a good guy. Supportive. The beautiful Sonia Chandani also. And when I think of Sonia Chandani, I have a wheelchair and a walker to pick up in the Bronx, and I have one to pick up upstate. So,
Wow. Also, I see Savitri Bailey. She's always supportive to us too, Shanaz. Thank you very much.
That's right. If we have to sit here and acknowledge our friends,
yes,
it's a well-accomplished show. What should I say?
Big up them, all of our good viewers. Our good friend
Chico Haitram is also locked on. Thank you very much. Hey, Vicky, good night to you. Bibi Fazila, Zamin. If we miss your name, believe me, it's not on purpose, but we want you guys to comment.
Les Paduman is on, and your good friend. I hope she don't have the belna for the man himself.
Rishi Rambali, good night to you. I think he deserves more than a belna sometime, He need black sage whip.
Oh, God. That I'm going to do. He's skin tough. He from Kanji side, right?
And Shanti agrees with us. Shanti would not stop and interrupt her day to watch the nonsense that's going on Facebook. So good night to you guys. Thank you for being here. The beautiful Sheila Mangar Singh, how you doing? I know Sheila is
from Suriname.
Observing Navratri, so she's always in the Mandirs, and Sandra Bailey. Don't let COVID stop you from praying. COVID should encourage you to pray. When you think of what's happening around the world, you should pray more.
That's right, and we will talk a little bit more about that and my interview later on.
Mr. Joe Thomas, who's voting? We all should be voting, exercise our civic duty. We are citizens. Everybody wants to be a citizen of this beautiful country. Now, what are we doing as being a citizen of this country? Are you volunteering at a soup kitchen? By the way, I want to say, I know Ken said you got a certificate for the Lions Club. Yes, because, our Lions in the Queens Community Lions Club, they are working day in, day out. Some of them are home from their job. So they're making use of their time. And a lot of them you don't see posting stuff, but they're doing things behind the scenes. And Minwati, thank you very much. And I want to acknowledge a few lines. I know Mr. Vishal Hardwar is a prominent Monday person, but he dedicated his time to Lionism as well. The All-State guy is there, and we have some really educated folks in the Lions Club who are not even there for the media and publicity, but sometimes you just have to acknowledge them. I got a certificate saying thank you because I was out there and for all the deliveries I've been doing, But our next mission is a coat drive, which I talked about last week. So we're going to be having a coat drive. So I told someone the Queens Community Lions Club will have a coat drive for the poor, and they said, "Where do you have poor in Queens?"
Oh, really?
So do you think there's a need for coats? I mean, the homeless, obviously, but we talked about the homeless last week also. There's homes, but they refuse to be in there. They want to be homeless. They choose to be on the road, right? There's homes. New York provides shelters.
There is places that you can go and donate them. Sometimes, some place in Richmond Hill, you walk down the street, you will see some homeless guys. Also, the place that I work, they take coats and so on. It's Faith Mission Alcohol Crisis Center. So if you guys have any clothes you want to donate, just bring it there, drop it off, and patients will love it.
Yeah, it shows them, keep them warm during this winter season. Hey, Rohan Naidu, good night to you. The beautiful Vimala Prasad, good night, good night. And I was just telling Ken, the beautiful Vimala, and thank you to those of you who contributed to my GoFundMe. It was kind of a private thing. I just select a few people I wanted to send it to, and I sent it, and she donated, so thank you for your donation. The famous Joe Thomas, how you doing? Good night to you. Good night to each and every one of you locked on. And if you're observing Navratri, well, happy Navratri to you. Diwali is coming up soon, and it's a beautiful season. The festival of lights, how beautiful it is when your neighbors are lighting their diyas. I always get out and take a pictures. Hey, the beautiful Deepa Dasrat, good night to you.
Pami Bola too is on.
And John from Queens really wants you guys to get out there and vote. So who you're going to vote for? And, when it comes to politics, it's good that you have a voice and you could go out there and vote. We're not here. Religion and politics should not separate us.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you say that, Shanaz, because you know what? Despite of our views, political views, our religious views, we all should be heard, and we have our right to our own opinion. And we don't need to go and fight each other.
We don't have to impose my religion or my political views on you. What you believe in is completely private.
Absolutely. And we were talking yesterday about different cultures and people from different parts of the world, and I close this statement by saying, all that matters to me really is to be a good human being. That's it.
That's right. Humanity is the best religion, and if you show love, that's what the world should be running on.
Because sometimes you can go to church, pray every day,
and still have a bad black heart.
Yeah. So I believe in being kind. That's my religion. Being kind, being good, share love.
Kindness rules the world. What can we say? Gita Ramkissoon, good night to you, beautiful Nalini Naidu, John from Queens, and I think our assistant is on everybody's Facebook to see who is sharing because Mr. Munishwar, how you doing? Thank you very much. I can't wait for your session again. I know I've been busy. Hey, Jack Sparrow, good night to you. Lekram Narayan, how you doing? Davina Raghunandan. And some folks might want to know, how come I'm missing out on the live views on the Island Zone Radio? Because, sometimes I have my assistant working in the office, and I don't like to play our kind of music too loud. So they, not everybody can multitask. It distracts them. They can't focus. So I kind of keep the music off if I have company in the office. Our
friend Rajan Narayan on. Thank you very much, my brother.
Hey, Mr. Ralph Ramprasad, he wrote something I wanted you to read, Ken.
I saw his comment and I was like, should I read it or not?
It went up too fast.
But
so
I
if
see
you
it.
could pin it, we'll definitely read that comment. Savitri, thank you. The beautiful Nala and Kishore Gopal, how you doing? Alvin Ramsroop, thank you. It's sharing. It's free. And, we want to share our love with you. So if you know someone who is not feeling up to themselves, send them the link. We'll play a song for them to cheer them up because the little things you do in life makes a big difference sometimes to the person. Hey, Nizam Khan, thank you very much. He said, you believe what you believe, and I believe what I believe. Thank you very much.
That's right.
Thank you, Nalo. I just got in from work, and yes, Savitri Bailey, Rohan Naidu, thank you. Joe Thomas said, well, let's read Mr. Ralph Prasad. He said, vote Trump 2020.
Okay, vote Trump 2020. The Democrats is like the PNC. They've been Biden government will help the PNC to remove the PPP. That was a thing I was hearing people saying. Trump put in the PPP in government in Guyana. I mean, they assist, and we should vote for him. I don't know where I stand on that, really, to be honest with you.
If that is
But
true, he did the right thing.
but that's what happened. The American government was Mike Pompeo, this Secretary
They
of State.
make a trip up there.
He went to Guyana, and he assists the government in putting the PPP back in government after the election. So, if you want to be grateful, it's a good thing to go and vote
show your
Trump. You show your
appreciation.
appreciation. But if you want
He did do
change,
some. He accomplished a lot. Sometimes I always like to look at our glass half full. He did a good thing when it comes to college. He did also a good when it comes to blue collar jobs being appreciated and more appointed and selected when it comes to getting jobs. He's looking to get more blue collar jobs hired.
Debbie Sanyasi on. Thank you very much for locking on.
Yes, Apache Warrior, I'll definitely pick you up. We'll go and vote. Debbie Suku, good night to you. Good night to each and every one of you. We'll definitely go and vote. I actually have a vote partner tomorrow, but I'm thinking our district might be a little off. So, pick up a friend, pick up an elderly, take them to vote. How
Yeah, that's
accomplished
a
you
good
will
thing.
feel like you took someone to vote.
Ralph Ramprasad, thanks for tuning in. He said Trump 2020. Rohan Naidu, thanks for watching us.
We might think things are bad right now, but we don't know. We don't guarantee what's coming our way, right?
That's right, that's right. Life is so unpredictable, eh?
Even with politics, they always say something, but then they get in there, get in office, and it's not what you promise. We need someone, and we might have to carve him, make him a special person who will recognize hardworking folks like yourself, who's working, who will cut back on welfare. I really hate that welfare business and that shelter business. Everyone should go out and work. Housing, free housing. You think it's fair for you to be working 2 jobs and pay for your mortgage, and then there's some folks who's riding the government? Which politician will go in office and make those changes? Which politician will get into office and say healthcare, free healthcare for everyone?
Well, Shanaz, over the past 25 years or so, I've been working with the poor, the underserved, people who do drugs, and so on, the mentally challenged. And I have to be very honest with you. Those who are sick, mentally challenged, who need the help, really they should get the help. But there is so many young people that I get to see, and sometimes people don't want me to hear I say this, but I've seen so many young people out there who nothing happens to them,
But
but
they're
you know
taking
what,
advantage
they
of
take
the
advantage of the
system.
system, and that's where the system was supposed to work for people who can't work, and it's a good thing that the government have these kind of projects and
But
so
have a
on.
project that would give you unemployment or fund you for 6 months with knowing that they will find you a job. Don't keep supplying you with the welfare and housing on the taxpayers' dollar.
And I'm glad you say that because it reminds me of my guest yesterday, Yelena Dudnot. She got the COVID-19, was very sick, was on the vent for 71 days. She had a G tube, and she's not working. She's not getting any money from the government, and things like this. I am so glad that if I can get some help for her. So if there's anyone out there who can help this young lady in terms of know what kind of benefits she can get out there, just contact me or contact Shanaz, or contact her
Well, I'll
directly.
definitely look into getting some groceries delivered to her until she get back on her feet, because there's
No,
so many food hampers that we associate with in Queens, and they do the delivery service. I could deliver it myself, so I
that'd be
will
nice.
definitely look at that. Also, when you're sick, I'm sure she lost her job.
She
Is she
lost her
working?
job. She's not working.
Wow.
She's not well enough because remember she was on the vent for 71 days, and it's
All right,
tough.
so the biggest help you can give someone, and I love doing this, I love finding an apartment for friends who are looking for an apartment, knowing that you could pay. If I know someone who don't have a good reputation and they wouldn't pay the landlord, I'm not going to get them a job or an apartment. You like reliable folks. You get them an apartment and you don't pay. You, as a referral, you look bad. So the best job we could do right now, the best help, is find her a job, maybe in real estate or something.
Well, I am not sure if she can work because I saw yesterday when they
She
were
was still a
leaving.
little bit weak.
Yeah, she's weak. Her husband was putting on help her with her shoes and her coat and so on. But if you want to help too, Shanaz, her husband is a real estate agent, and now you can big him up. You can call Jai Chan Dial at 718-324-6060. And if you want a house or apartment, just call him again, 718-324-6060.
So let's go with a beautiful song. That, guys, this is a picture of what COVID could do to you. So nobody would like to be in a bed, whether it's at home or in a hospital. So protect yourself and your family. Keep them safe. And hey, if you have to say no to someone visiting you for your safety, go ahead and say that. You know, today I was in my office and I was a little bit upset because my assistant actually got the call from a patient's daughter, and who's saying, pass the message along. Her dad was exposed to someone who visited them yesterday. Now, this guy is sitting in that chair for 3 hours. You're sending me a message after he's been here. He's exposing our staff to this. And I said, you know what? Thank God I didn't get that call, because somebody would have heard my big mouth.
Oh, God.
Yes, because, she's a nurse. You know her father being exposed, and you're going to wait until he's finished his treatment to tell us, to give us a warning. I mean, our staff 100% wear face masks, wear gloves, they use their sanitizers, so they are well protected. But sometimes you have to think of others, not just of yourself. They were being selfish to notify us after so many hours in our dialysis center,
Yes.
So we recommend, did he go get the COVID test? If you suspect he's been exposed, why you didn't take your father, who has underlying condition? He's also suffering from cancer. So why would you open your doors to someone who have COVID and expose your parents who are, elderly, who are sick?
Let's we could talk so much, but I want to read Jack Sparrow comment, but I want to save that for when we come back.
Okay, we'll go with Selecta Bolt, and then we'll be back. Let's say happy birthday to the beautiful Anastasia Amin. Anastasia Amin, happy birthday to you, celebrating her 22nd birthday. Well, Selecta Bolt, I hope you have a beautiful song for the birthday girl. Let's rock, let's roll. Happy birthday to Anastasia.
कल 9 बजे तुम चांद देखना, मैं भी देखूंगा, और यूं दोनों की निगाहें चांद पर मिल जाएंगी। कल 9 बजे
तुम चांद देखना, मैं भी देखूंगी, और यूं दोनों की निगाहें चांद पर मिल जाएंगी।
कल 9 बजे कौन कह सकता है कल मैं हूँ कहाँ, तुम हो कहाँ। कौन कह सकता है कल मैं हूँ कहाँ, तुम हो कहाँ।
चांद लेकिन यही निकलेगा यहाँ और वहाँ।
चांद इस चेहरे को।
And I interrupt the music to talk about Mr. Vishal Hardawar. Thank you. When I call upon my friends, I know as a member of the Lions Club, the Queens Community Lions Club, Mr. Vishal already stepped in and say, how can he help this person,
चांद पर मिल जाएंगे कल 9 बजे। तेरी काली लकीरों से जिंद मेरी जागे, धड़कन से तेज दौड़ूं सपनों से आगे, अब जान उठ जाए ये जहां।
No, I I'll take a pin on that song that is taken from the movie My Name is Khan, and my name is not Khan, my name is Shanaz, but I love that movie by King Kong himself. Let's say good night to beautiful Shira Singh watching us from Toronto. Gayatri Deodnaran, good night to you. Brooke, thank you very much for being on the Ken Ramprasad show yesterday, sharing your stories. We don't always talk about happy things, we talk about reality.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And Shanaz, I'm sorry, the number that we give earlier, use this one instead to call her husband if anybody want to buy a house. It's 347-928-7203. Again, 347-928-7203.
Well, we'll do put that number up there because, supporting her husband is supporting her,
Her,
especially
that's
when
right.
she's now working in this time. So, Paul Ramcharan, good night to you. How are you doing? The beautiful Rosie, good night to you. Savitri Bailey, good night to you. Let's read Mr. Jack Sparrow's comment, and then we'll come back with that beautiful song we could all enjoy a little bit more. So, guys, share the link. I know often enough we don't say share the link, and let someone that you know who might need a song, might need someone cheering them up, let them listen to us. We don't badmouth anyone. We talk about what's happening,
Love, baby,
current
love.
event, and we share our love. There's no one on our live feed who can say they haven't been loved because we love each and every one of you. Sonia, Andrew, good night to you. Thank you very much. Hey, Rukmin, how are you doing? Thank you.
Yeah, Sonia is my cousin. She lives in Brooklyn. Hello, Sonia.
Let's read Jack Sparrow. And is that Jack Sparrow? Is that Captain Jack Sparrow?
We should say Captain Jack Sparrow.
By the way, speaking of captain, I read in Brooklyn, many of you probably read this, a dad went to make his daughter a pirate ship. Did you see that post?
No.
It was a big ship. I don't remember the length of it, but it was really big there, like the house, He went to make a pirate ship out of love. Sometimes you do things out of love. All these things for your kids. You will go move mountains if you have to for your children. Ralph Ramprasad, good night to you. You can read.
So let's talk about Jack Sparrow. His comment. I'm sorry to say this. Some of the younger people nowadays don't care nothing. Them don't like to work. Jack, you know what? Your comment has been playing in my mind for a long, long time. And I'm glad you say that. And I always talk to Shanaz about this. Because, Shanaz, and to our viewers, when I came to the United States, I was still a young guy, around 25 years old. I didn't have any relative here in New York. Life was tough. I can't say I was homeless. I always had somewhere to sleep, but sometimes I didn't know where I was going to get a meal from. I wish when I go to someone's house, I would get something to eat. I would talk that in my mind. Oh God, let these people give me some food, and
because
I'm not
you were
embarrassed
single,
to
you
say
didn't
that.
have a family, so
I had
of
nobody.
course, right.
And then, apart from that, I didn't know where I was going to sleep the next night because when I go to someone's house, they said, "Oh my God, you can only stay here 2 days because my landlord is going to get upset if they see you." And so I didn't know where I was going to land, But
But I'm
Shanaz,
proud of you. You came
thank
here,
you.
you work really hard. And I want to
Yeah.
say thank you to, the person who brought us in this country, my aunt, when you're sponsoring someone, brother and sister, you are responsible for them for how long?
5 years.
5 years. And she's always saying, she's proud of us because we were independent. She didn't have to provide for us for 5 years. We all got jobs. We went to school. We got jobs. We're independent. We bought our house. I bought my house at 21 and my first BMW.
That's nice.
So she's always very proud. And, it's a big responsibility when you're sponsoring someone now to let them come and be a burden on the government, because as he said, not a lot of people, teenagers, know these values. We as parents have to show our kids, give them jobs and give them responsibilities. They can't just get up and be, a nobody.
Yeah, before you go that, I don't want to, Charlotte Boudou watching from Wisconsin, Pami Bola watching, thank you very much. And Shanaz, let me see, over the years, I'm watching a lot of young people come to the United States and they're showing no care, no concern, no responsibility.
This is a land of opportunity. It's there, but it's not going to fall in your lap. You have to go out and look for it.
I
You have
always
to go
say
out and
that.
get it.
Yeah, I always
And they
say
say
that.
God help those who help themselves. I like to help people who's willing to do things and who I know has a passion for something. If I know you want a job and you're dedicated, I will move mountains to get you the job. If you need an apartment, I will leave what I'm doing to find you an apartment. But if I know you have no passion or you don't care about something, I'm not going to impose on myself and put myself at,
At arm's way, yes. But and going back, I've always believed that young people, you need to, as parents, you want to guide your children to do what's right, to live a good life, and also children have a responsibility to always do what's right and do the best thing in life. Go to school, get an education, and have something that you want to do. Although I was not a brilliant student, I was very bad in school, but I always had a dream. I wanted to be a nurse.
But you tried and
And
you
I
tried, and
fight
all
and
your
fight.
failures, you didn't give up. You
Right.
continue striving. And I want to read Saeed Ali's comment. He said people thought they would get unemployment for their jobs their whole life. They quit their jobs now, and it's very difficult for them to find jobs, right? Unemployment only goes for 6 months, and there's a lot of jobs out there. So if you quit your jobs because of COVID, and I want to tell you, my first assistant, she was this close in being fired because she ride it out. She took advantage of my kindness and our company's policy and stayed home for 3 months. And the minute I got a replacement, she came back,
Yeah.
We didn't have grounds for termination. But hey, Sonia Chandani, good night to you. The value when you had to work hard for it. Of course, if you work for something, if you work for a jacket, you know it, you value it, you wouldn't get it dirty. But if something is being handed to you, of course you don't value and appreciate it. But I feel like, I would take hand-me-downs because I value the person who worked for it. If my sister bought a jacket the other day and it didn't fit her, she's like, I have a jacket for you. Of course, I know she worked for it.
Right.
So I value it and I would take care of it. So not everybody is that accepting, or, sometimes folks don't work, but they don't expect hand-me-downs. They want to get the best, especially in Guyana. They want Old Navy. They want Hollister. I'm like, excuse me?
Hollister. Well, one of the things that you guys don't know about Shanaz, and I always like to big up her because, I get to know Shanaz personally, in a personal way. And one of the things we always say in our midst with our family when she's not here, how humble she is, and she would come, plat her foot, sit down, eat some food. She never said no. You know what I'm saying? We always prepare something nice for her to eat, and she's very humble about that, and that's why we love her so much.
Even if it's salt and rice, when it's given with love,
Yeah,
of
she
course,
knows.
I will take it. And, Ken always know my favorite dishes, so he's, having his personal chef make it for me. What can I say?
Yeah, she is blessed, and we are blessed to have each other in our life. Also, I see Natasha Carrington watching us from Antigua. Good to have her on.
Sonia Andrew, good night to you. Auntie Nalini Naidu, Saeed, thank you very much.
And
God
guys,
doesn't help people who doesn't want to do anything or help themselves. Now, I want you guys to side with me or say, how do you feel on this? Because the same folks, we're getting back to welfare and housing. And I was thinking of this coming here. Of course, your blood pressure always raised. Sonia Andrews, American Eagles. Of course, how many of you are sending barrels to Guyana and they're asking for brand name stuff? You're living here, you don't even purchase brand name stuff, because sometimes I would wear something one time and I don't know where it is, or I'll give it to somebody. But I'm not into, Ken is into Nike, I must say. Wow. But I'm sure you value your stuff. You work hard for it. Of course, we treat ourselves good now. Sometimes we do need to treat ourselves good because self-care is important.
absolutely.
Self-care is the most important care. So, Jack Sparrow said in Trinidad too. So if they're sitting down on the fence, and guess what? Everybody in Guyana have the latest technology. They have the phones that we don't have, okay? My phone, and I must show you, it
She's embarrassed to show you because crack up.
Oh my goodness. And that's because I'm trying to multitask and I'm trying to carry my pocketbook and a laptop and everything else in my hand, and it fell a couple of times. But you know what? I'm glad I have a phone. My family in Guyana and Trinidad probably have a very expensive phone, but what can I say?
Saeed, actually, to be honest with you, we like to talk politics, but politics causes a lot of problems sometimes, and that's why we shy away from politics and religion, But if you want to throw in your piece inside, we can always read it, and definitely I will talk about it. But we can talk about it a little bit if you want.
Let's read Apache Warrior's comment, and I love when you guys are commenting. Apache said, "My family is asking to send an iPhone 12."
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, they probably know Apache's rich, so they probably...
Well, Apache want to see my phone, and for the friendship we have for 20 years, I'll show him my phone.
Wonder if you're going to buy one and send it for you. That's why. Show him. He might send you one. Apache, her phone is cracked up. So probably you may want to send a check for her tomorrow or the cash app.
Shara Roseanne, how you're doing? Yeah, it's a 2-year-old phone, S9, and I really wouldn't take $900 out of my pocket to go buy a phone, because I look at $900 could feed 2 orphanages in Guyana, or maybe 1 orphanage for the rest of the year.
Yes,
so
yes.
it's a lot when everybody is on the next, they're just waiting. How many of you have family or friends who are just waiting for the next phone to come out, or the next MacBook, or the next Apple computer? They will get the latest technology.
I see Babita Gal watching us from Schenectady, New York. Thanks for watching, my dear. Our good friend Michael Nalini Naidu is watching. Thank you, my dear. Razi Hussein.
Razi Hussein, good night to you. My beautiful friend Janet in Guyana. How are you doing? Good night to each and every one of you. Babita Gal, thank you very much. Sonia, Andrew, good night to you. I believe you guys deserve a beautiful song, you know. I love entertaining you guys and making your Monday night a little bit better. We have so much to talk about, and most of the time, sometimes it's not planned. We just go with it. We just talk what's on our mind, and believe me, we have a lot of things on our mind.
Yeah.
Election is number 1. Get out there and vote, because I don't want to hear nobody complain. They were rooting for this guy, but he didn't win. He didn't win because he's not getting your vote. He's not getting your support. You want to see change. What did Mahatma Gandhi said? You want to see change?
Be the change that you want to see. And
That's
it starts
right.
with you, you know?
Starts with you. Start changing your house, changing your habits, and then the change will come. Debbie Suku, good night to you. Nisha Salim, how are you doing? Good night, good night. Rajkumari Singh, good night to you. Rajkumari said, Michael Kors, thank you. Yes, they're always waiting for the best and brand names back home, but as I was saying, they are on their phone 24/7. I went to Guyana last year. Is every 2 days you have to go and update your plan. You have to put in more money in the phone. I'm like, how can somebody survive in Guyana and everybody's on their phone 24/7?
But they need to get a better plan, though. They can't let people go in and put minutes all the time.
All the time. The minutes is just like going out. You have to buy data. And I know folks who are on their phone 24/7 and they're asking you for help. They don't want to get up and go to work, but they're on their phone on Facebook watching all the nonsense and sharing all the nonsense. Sometimes they said, did you see this? No, I didn't, because I was busy working, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So DJ Bolt, let's go to beautiful tune. Gawati, good night to you. Hey, Pami Hernandez, how you doing? Thank you. She did her early voting yesterday in
At
Queens.
your college.
At
I'm not
your
far from your college.
Maybe that's where you're supposed to go vote.
No, I'm
hey,
right next to
Michael
school.
Kubir, how you doing?
Let's
And
go.
Apache Warrior said, screw that Bolt. We need a screwdriver for that Bolt. Let's go.
ये जहां छूट जाए संग प्यार रहे मैं रहूं ना रहूं सजना तेरा सजना दिन रैन करूं ना चैन करूं सजना सजना तेरा सजना लखवार करूं मेरी जान करूं
अब जान लुट जाए ये जहां छूट जाए संग प्यार रहे मैं रहूं ना रहूं
सजना तेरा सजना दिन रैन करूं ना चैन करूं सजना तेरा सजना लखवार करूं मेरी जान करूं रांझना नैनों के तीर चल गए साजना सांसों से दिल सिल गए पलकों में छुपा लूं सजदा करूं सीने में समा लूं
Thank you very much, Natasha Carrington. She said as long as she could see us on her phone, she has a good phone.
अब जान लुट जाए ये जहां छूट जाए संग प्यार रहे मैं रहूं ना रहूं
सजना तेरा सजना दिन रैन करूं ना चैन करूं सजना तेरा सजना लखवार करूं मेरी जान
song selected by Selecta Bolt. That's our DJ on the Monday night program. Natasha Carrington, good night. Thank you very much. Rohan Naidu, Nadira, good night to you. Arjuna Madre, well, he's always our number one supporter when it comes to sharing the link. Also, he's always sharing because he loves sharing positive stuff. So thank you guys for sharing and being here with us every Monday. And the beautiful Michelle Shahid, good night to you. How are you doing? Thank you, Mr. Madre. And we love being here with you guys every Monday. Savitri Bailey, how you doing? She said, I went out and voted already. There you go.
And so, Shanaz, what's your take on the election tomorrow? I know one of our viewer wants us to talk a little bit about the election.
Pammy Hernandez, good night to you. Let's talk about election. You know, you have to, there's Democrat, then there's Republican. You have to know what each candidate stand for, their platform and what their beliefs, what you think they will do to make this country good or no good. Keep in mind that we did get a lot of, you know, if the new president get elected and go in office, you think we'll get the tax break we got, the COVID relief we got. Because of COVID, our jobs were paying us more, healthcare workers, right? I'm not sure if your company did that, but our company give you almost $3 per hour more because
no,
we
I
had
didn't
to
get
work.
that. No, I didn't get that. You're lucky.
Yeah, I guess maybe it was a private company and I was well compensated. So it's, you know, a lot of folks benefited from COVID-19 and they benefit from being home. The one thing you should have took advantage of is being and spending time with your family, praying a little bit more because, you know, maybe the world was getting so corrupted, so overwhelmed because everybody was neglecting God. They were just doing what they're doing, neglecting their family to begin with. And they were out and about doing everything and anything. So God put a pause button on it. He wants you to sit back and think of your behavior. What are you doing? Now he give you more time to pray. He give you more time. But of course, everybody needs their job because this is America. We're living in here. And believe me, the cost of living is expensive. So no one can survive being on unemployment for 6 months. You have to go back out and work. And I encourage you, don't sit at home. I wouldn't encourage anyone to just, you know, write off your unemployment and to go back to your job. Get a new job. Sometimes things happen for a reason. You get laid off from this job. It's a time to say, you know what? It may be not the best job for me. Let me try something new. And changes are always good. You know, open a new window, do something different.
Yeah, Babita, not everybody get that pay raise. I didn't get it, but Shanaz did get hers. So, you know, different company did different things. Some company pay during the time when COVID was a lot, like during April, May, June month. Some people get a lot of much more money. We get a little bit, but they stop. So for now, good that Shanaz continues to get this kind of money, whereas I don't get any. So it varies about everyone and their company.
It wasn't easy to get our nurses up to be at our dialysis center 4 in the morning, and then they get home at 11 o'clock. So when one patient walk in the building late, of course we had to be, you know, you're not thinking of yourself, you're not thinking of the staff. He was thinking about himself. He'd walk in at 8 o'clock. I said, hello, we're closed at 11. This staff has been here since 4 o'clock in the morning. And if you don't stand up for your workers, and I must applaud the frontline workers because they're doing an awesome job. You guys don't know, but it takes frontline workers to stock the supermarkets, am I right? To be at the gas station pumping your gas. And believe me, I am not a person who will get out there in the middle of summer. I'm not pumping my gas, but I always show my appreciation, and those gas stations know who I am because when I get there, I'm not just pumping my gas. I show my appreciation and I thank them for their service that they're doing for our community.
That's right. And you know, my take on the election is that you guys have to vote whoever you want to vote for. You know, tomorrow you go out and you vote. If you think in your mind that you want to vote for Biden and Harris, go ahead and vote for them. If you want to vote for Trump, you want to continue another 4 year, go right ahead. We support whatever you want to do. You know, I initially had Harris because her mother is from India, her father was from Jamaica. And so
it means a lot for one of us, our people, to be up there, but we don't know what their platform is. We don't know. They can have all the promise. They could say they're coming to your house and give you $1,000 each per month. Does that make, you know, her the winning candidate?
We got somebody listening here, Navin Ramarine, and them like to rock in hammock.
That's right. They like to rock in hammock. I love to rock in hammock, but that's after a hard day of work and getting home on a Friday, start my weekend off with some coconut water and rocking in my hammock. Yes. Arjuna Madre, good night to you. Sonia Chandani. Sonia said New York is a Democratic state, but a lot of people are voting for Trump. Now, why is that? You know, you have to weigh things out. Look at everything that he's done and what he promises. He have his ways. You know, when it comes to the tax, there's some things that need to be changed. If I could pay tax, he should be paying tax. What do you think?
Absolutely. What goes
Everybody
for
should
all?
pay tax, especially the richer folks. If you're making 400,000, who's making 400? Tax more. Businesses should be paying tax, because did you walk on Liberty Avenue recently? Sometimes it's shameful to say this is your community. This is where your people, because they're so dirty. The business and if you're in front of a fish market, the entire Liberty Avenue smells horrible.
Oh, really?
No, certain parts of it.
Oh, okay. It's fish.
Yeah, I mean, they're you know, we have our good side, we also have our bad side, but certain people really need to improve themselves, and change come within. Make change in yourself, and then we'll conquer the country. So, you know,
Let's, Shanaz, that we can get off of politics now. We can talk. Let's on Yelena Brooks. Her husband number is 347-928-7203. If you guys want to help them out a little bit,
for all
please
your
call that
rental
number.
and real estate needs, call them, because, you know, with one person working, they could use your
Yeah,
help. So give them the support.
347-928-7203. And let's see Michael Nalini Naidu. Always respect her comment. Lal, New York people is shaking the money tree.
They think we have money tree, but we don't have money tree in New York. And we know we have some folks who really like to work hard. And I was getting back to the folks who are living on welfare and housing. How long should the government allow you housing and welfare and all these checks? You know, how often you go to the grocery store with a list of 10 items that you're a working class individual have to go out with a list to buy your grocery. But there you are with someone behind you not working, but they get all the checks coming from the government with 2 shopping carts full of groceries, right? Is that fair? We're looking at what we're spending. You're looking at your healthcare being cut back because you're a working class. But who's benefiting from this country? The ones who are not working. That need to be changed.
Shanaz, on a somber side, a little sad side, we know that our Diraj and DJ Fest
That's
mother.
right. We didn't want to make all of you sad, but it's sad news for our family, the Island Zone family. We like to express our sympathy and condolences to the Ryan
mother, yeah.
Jeffrey and his family and friends, and Diraj Gairam, the entire Gairam family. You know, they lost their mom, and it's not an easy loss because that family is so close knitted.
Yes,
They
yes.
spend a lot of time together. So, I know a few weeks ago I was talking to Ryan. He said, I don't have that much patience to wait on anyone. But my grandma, if she goes into a store, I would wait for her for hours, and it doesn't bother me.
Wow.
So, you have love in that family. It's always love and support. So, on behalf of Shanaz and Ken and the Island Zone family, we'd like to express our sympathy to Diraj Gairam and DJ Fest and his family, Ronetta Jeffrey, the entire Jeffrey family.
And you know what? I always thought she was proud of Diraj. And when we talk about Diraj, that's our number one dancer we have.
Yeah.
He is
And that's a
big
mother
dancer.
who support you, whatever
Yes.
career you choose. And I'm sure when it comes to dancing and coming from Guyana, it wasn't easy being a classical dancer, to be labeled a guy who's doing all kind. But she support her children, her grandchildren, to be whatever they want to be. Live your life to the fullest, and the fullest that makes you happy. So she's a mom and a grandma who love her kids and support them to the fullest. So, take an example out of her. She would support by being in the front row seat of
Yeah, he said it. Yeah,
every
yeah.
show. He did, right?
Yeah.
Of every show I MC for Diraj, the grandma, his mom was the front in
And
the
she
audience.
supported him. Yes, that's a good
Cheering
thing.
him on, You love dancing, applaud to you. Do what you love. Mr. Tasif Baksh, good night to you. Anna Baldeo, how you doing? Arjuna Madre, good night to you.
Also, I see Arjun is a sympathy going out to my buddy Naren, who lost his father this morning. So we are sorry. Our deepest sympathy to you guys.
Nazian, good night to you. Radha Totaram, welcome. Love you being on air. The beautiful Bibi Razak, thank you guys for being here. I hope you share the link. Ralph Ramprasad have his reasons why he's saying vote for Trump, and I would love to share some of your reasons. So let others know also, they don't know the entire story that why you should or you shouldn't vote for someone. But
Also, I see your friend Tasif Baksh tune in. So I have to say thank you very much to him too. And it's good to have good friend. He drove so far away
Yes,
from
very
Schenectady to New
supportive,
York.
and he did rock. I know Ken was dancing a little bit, so it's always good to see if came from very far away to rock for my birthday party. And you guys could see it tomorrow. It'll be up on Facebook, or it's probably up on Facebook already if you missed the live, behind the scenes. I know John from Queens missed it, but
And also, I know that he have a restaurant or something in Schenectady, so he can probably put out his
that's
number
right.
there.
And I had sweet rice and puri from his restaurant.
Right.
And the chow mein, there was awesome food.
So that's a good thing. It's good to have good friends.
It is good. Friends you could count on. It's Lisa. How you doing? Good night, good night. She's saying good night, Uncle Kenneth. John from Queens, good
Hi,
night to
Lisa.
you. Mary Ann Lou, good night to you. Sunita Prashad, how you doing? Naz Ali, thank you very much. Sending
Mary
out
Lou.
sympathy to DJ Fest and his family.
Mary Lou Ramdani watching from Canada. It's always good to have you on. She's always well dressed and put together too.
Yes, Naz Ali, good night to you. Rajkumari Singh, how you doing? Good night to you. Sending condolences to Diraj and his family. Anita Baldeo, how you doing? Janet, good night to you.
Also, Janet Idun, thanks for watching. Anita Basdeo, thanks for watching us.
Hold on a minute. Mr. Madras said he wants to redo that party, so I guess I have to rebook that ban on his expense. What do you think?
Let's rock.
So, Mr. Madras, thank you very much. I know I could always count on you. Thank you. And we will definitely have a big party coming up, guys. The next date is November 15th. You love disco. I love disco. Disco season, the 80s was a great time, and I'm bringing it back. So, November 16 or 15, that's Sunday, 4 p.m. is a show for you guys.
And I see Rob says Narayan is from number 2 village, Kanji. My uncle was years ago, Sigobin Roy. Sigobin was a correction officer at number 2 there at the prison.
Good night. Let's read Savitri Bailey's comment, if you could see that one.
I don't think. Let me see if I can get it, or if you can pin it up
Right
there.
here. Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
We are hardworking people.
The one that depends on the government have all the latest hairstyle and well dressed, nails done professionally, etc.
Expensive shoes, they don't go without brand name shoes. And then when you walk into the restaurant, it's all full. They're not working, they're on welfare, but the restaurants are full. They're wearing brand name clothing that you cannot buy. So those are the things that really make your blood pressure go up sometimes.
And I yesterday when Yelena was going home and she told me that she's not working, and because she is ill and she's not getting any help from the government, I feel sad for her, and I feel sorry because here it is, you have someone who
it could happen
was
to
working.
any one of us.
She was a frontline worker,
right.
working to help people with COVID and the elderly and so on. And to see that she's not getting any money, I felt kind of bad for her.
Yeah, because she loves to work, and if you love to work, we want to support you also for being a frontline worker.
Sheridan Sukwa is saying good night to the Sukwa family.
Pearly Prasad, good night to you. Sonia Andrew, how you doing? Hi Ken, Prince Rajesh. And yes, good night. We had Prince Rajesh rocking
really?
with the HQ band.
Oh, I don't
from
know.
My
I didn't know
birthday
that.
Party. The HQ band was Prince Rajesh. Good night. Auntie Nalini Naidu, good night to you. She's sending love and condolences to the family of Diraj Gayaram. Naz
That's
Ali,
right.
thank you very much. And we love you guys for being supporter and, following Island Zone Radio, Shanaz Musical Sensation, Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken, and the Ken Ramprasad Show, because this is a show that we don't talk about nonsense. We talk about what's in our mind. We love to hear your comments, and if you say something, we'll definitely read it out loud.
Yes, thank you, Savitri. I felt bad for her. So, guys, if you can support her in any way, please do so. I will love that. And, yesterday, Shanaz, I don't know, for some reason, I could not share my show to anyone, and I had depend on, some of you guys who share. I want to say thank you guys for sharing. And please go ahead and share the show yesterday, because you know what, there is so much information there that could help you guys out with COVID-19. And like I said, she was diagnosed with COVID-19. She had a trach, a tube down her
There's
lungs.
a picture, you guys. No one wants to be in this position, and I pray that you recover fully. Take your vitamins. The best health you could do is take your vitamins, protect your immune system, and don't expose yourself to others. Nobody wants to be in a bed. Here she is out of the hospital, I believe, with her doctors.
Yes, and her therapist and so on there.
In the yellow, that is the beautiful Lady Lee. Good night. And
I see the beautiful Gita Ramkissoon is watching. My good friend Ajit Nabaksh is watching from Canada. He's always a positive guy and always sending
Mohan
message.
Anthony Narayan, that is our famous dancer, and I haven't seen you dancing in a long time. We have to get some shows on. Let's read my friend John from Queens' comment.
He said, it doesn't matter if you are a Democrat or Republican, you vote for the best candidate. I said that's a good thing. I've always put an add to this. You have Democrats, Republicans, and you have the rusty rats too. But that's a joke, eh? So.
Yeah, and sometimes always the combined party is what does better. You have some views from the Democrats and views from the Republican, and there goes your party. Sonia Andrew, good night to you. Ajit, thank you very much. Mohan Narayan, thank you. Rohan Naidu, and prayers. We're praying for any and everyone who's suffering from COVID. And if you know someone they would like to be on our show to talk about themselves and how they're making it out, please be a guest.
As you know, I had the COVID-19. I was sick for nearly 2 months. So thank God, and that's why it was hard for me to do the interview yesterday because I was reliving my experience, and then I know it was tough for her too because she was reliving hers, where she was intubated for actually 71 days and didn't
to
know
have
anything.
that tube down your throat is not easy. That was a painful thing. Yeleni, do not good night to you, and I'm glad you're a survivor. You could make it. They say prayers move mountains, so keep on praying and using your vitamins. Good night to Savitri Bailey. Thank you. Mohan Narayan, Bibi Razak, Arjuna Mandre, and Premati Arjun. Good night. We love you guys for being here every Monday. I think you deserve a beautiful tune selected by Selecta Bolt, our DJ, for tonight on Monday.
While he's getting that song, I want to say hello to Tarmati Barker. She was the #1 nurse in Guyana a couple of years ago. When I say that, the chief nursing officer in Guyana. So big up you, Tara.
The beautiful Sheila Juno is sending her deepest condolences to DJ Fest and his family. Yes, do reach out to them, put it on their wall. Let them know that you're thinking about them and praying for them because, sometimes all you need is a positive shoulder or support. Support goes a far way. Ralph Ramprasad, good night to you. He said, I'm a proud Guyanese, love Guyana. So, Ralph, definitely join us on our mission. As, we're hoping to go back to Guyana and break grounds and do so much more for our female, especially in Guyana.
That's right. Together, Shanaz and myself, we are the best team here. So
and
we will make a difference.
If we could build 5 different women's shelter, we will do it in Guyana to protect our females. Hey, Sheridan Sokwa, good night to you. John from Queens, good night. Apache Warrior, how you doing? Good night. Let's get out to the poll tomorrow. That is Apache Warrior saying get out and vote.
Be careful how you say the poll when what's his name watching.
Said out to the poll, not on the poll.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, Apache
Warrior
Warrior would take
the...
Yes.
That's his comment. He said, get out on the poll.
Oh, that's what he said. You see, that boy is too much.
So select the Bolt on the 1s and the 2s, going out to all our wonderful viewers out here on Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken every Monday, right here for you. Somebody say Sham Sundar.
Well, welcome back to Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken. I am so glad when I see my people from Lenora watching. And so I see Mahendra Vijay Hansraj, he's from Lenora. Thank you, my brother, for watching. Mobina Dalu, thanks for watching. Also, we have Venetia Chan. You know, Venetia Chan, very pretty girl living in Canada, but they were, I want to say they were rich in Ghana. They had their own Roxy Cinema on Lenora on the west coast of Demerara.
Is that why you're always at Roxy Cinema watching all the movies?
No,
Were you watching the movies or you went to see them girls?
I was little by then.
Oh.
But no, it's good to have Venetia Chan on. You know why? Despite she was rich and so on, she's humble, and she always sent me these nice, beautiful messages of, "Thank you, Ken, and you're doing such a wonderful job." And it goes a very far way. I think Geeta is telling me tomorrow is your birthday, Venetia. So
early birthday greetings to you.
Going out to you.
Salman Rahaman, good night to you. How are you doing? Mabina Dillal, thank you very much. Mahendra, how are you doing? He said, Mahendra
He's from Minnesota, right?
Yes, good night, good night. And Yaks, how are you doing? Good night to you. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Bibi Razak, Savitri Bailey, Sham Sundar is one of my favorite songs. No matter how sad I am, how tired I am, I would get up and dance. Sonia Andrew, Harikish, how are you doing? Thank you very much. Shanaz Sheriff, hey. Good night, good night. Usha Bisnat, Naz Yan, good night. Ann Baldeo.
Chandralal, thank you.
Rory Jagdeo, thank you very much. If you want us to talk about something, just say it and we will take it from there. Nadira Mahadin, thank you. Premati Arjun.
Yaks, Vidya, thanks for watching.
And my good friend Salman is missing us on Thursdays. You have to join us back Thursday, 9 p.m. is Shanaz Musical Sensation. I've been on early these days because I'm coming out of court. So, you know, I don't want to waste my time. So I go straight to the studio and get my music on because I love music. Ralph Ramprasad, how are you doing? Good night to you. He said his grandfather is Somal Ramprasad.
All right. So we'll talk after the show.
Chandrulal, good night to you. But, you know, aside from what's happening right now, there's a lot of...
You know, Shanaz, as we were talking, and we were supposed to talk about this a couple of days ago, where this young guy, he was 15 years old, Miss Lam, her former presidential candidate from Guyana, his father had a gun and he shot himself, the little boy, 15 years old. And today I was hearing that a young girl, she killed herself too. One of the things that we have said, Shanaz and myself, on this show is that, you know, it always bothers us when children, teenagers kill themselves. And so we talk all the time that what are some of the recipe for raising a good child. And Shanaz, you know, you have young children, you have teenagers. And what are some of the good things you want to do for your children?
You want to keep them busy. You want to keep them occupied. But you know what? As we said, if COVID is bothering us as adults, and it's, of course, taking a toll on our mind, especially if you're now working, imagine what it's doing to our children who don't know how to cope with this, who are going through hormonal changes right now. You know, we're adults, finished with all of those. So you can't tell a teenager how to think or how to feel because every day is a different day for them.
Right. And yeah, also, which we don't have a lot of time to go in a lot of details. But one of the things we want to do as parents, as aunts, as uncle, is that we want to grow our children with love, respect. Another thing that we good to do is when we have our children, we should have an open line of communication where our children can trust us.
You should be approachable. You should be able to sit down and talk with your kids about whatever is bothering them or whatever, you know, if you see something is wrong with them. And, you know, we should be our first observer when it comes to our kids.
That's right.
Knowing if, you know, and not, right now, during puberty, they might be a little isolated. They might want to be alone. They look at their body image. They might not be happy with acne and pimples. There's so much, you know, you're going through as a teenager. So we should be a little more understanding because we were there. And you know what? We didn't have parents who we could talk to back in Guyana.
Absolutely. Things different
here. We could talk with. We are saying with, not to. Because in Guyana, you talk to your parents or they talk to you. But here, you should talk with them. Because you know what? Kids are smart these days. We underestimate our kids and their potential. But we should also have an ears for listening because they come up with some really good ideas.
Right. We need to listen to our children when they're speaking. Don't put them, don't shun them. Because one of the things is that when children go to school, teenagers, if they're a little chunky, they're fat, people reject them. They don't want to see them. They make fun of them.
They're bullied.
Also, if you have a son or a daughter that's they're kind of boyish or girlish, you know, children would
label them as gay or bisexual. You don't know. It's good to have a line of communication with your kids so you could come and say anything, you know.
You don't want your children to be rejected at school, and then when they come home, they're
They're
being rejected
rejected
too.
at home also.
Yes, and as we're talking about safety, as a parent, when you have a gun home, one of your responsibility is that you should really
Have
lock
it in
your
a
gun
safe
up.
place.
Yeah,
Have it
don't
in a
have it
safe
loose
place.
like
That
this.
was something I saw on the Facebook today. I mean, I missed a lot of things, but someone sent it to me, and I said, it's such a tragedy that how would a parent feel knowing that your irresponsibility caused your son life?
Yeah, and always, children here, especially in the United States, one thing I see they do, they like to stay in the bedroom and do everything in the bedroom. Shanaz, to be very honest with you, I don't like that.
I don't like that as well. I don't believe in TVs in the bedroom. I don't even have a television in my bedroom. I feel like TV time is family time. And I always say TV time is family time. I will give them the option to choose the movie and it's always a family movie, or tell me why you want to watch that movie. And, hey, good night to my beautiful mom, my number one supporter. And here she goes calling me. Good night to each and every one of you. Thank you for watching the Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken every Monday.
We have to tell mom not to call you when you're live in air.
Right. I mean, I yell at a lot of folks sometimes, but she doesn't know. If she really wants to talk to me, she will call me.
Yeah, that's Shanaz's mom calling from Guyana. Probably something emergency. I hope it's not an
So good night to
emergency.
each and every one of you watching us on Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken. I know Ken still have that little cough, and you know what is good for that cough? Ginger, Ken. I have to get you some ginger candy. My friend went to Florida, and he brought me a bag of ginger candy because instantly, if you're losing your voice, you take a ginger candy and it's all
You-
gone. It's all better.
I don't know. For many years, my throat has always bothered me, and because I have a nasal drip, I actually had to get my tonsils removed, and so it always bothers me.
Well, I give you a remedy last week, and Geeta, I'm going to spank him for not using that because from last
Belna.
Monday to this Monday,
Spank
he
her.
needs,
Spank
he
her,
needs
not
a
me.
Belna, Bring me
Yes.
the Belna or the pot spoon for Ken because he hard of hearing.
And yeah, so let's continue, Shanaz. With children, we need to love our children. Don't put them down. We give them all the good qualities that would help them to grow in today's society. Because when you look around you, a lot of people, all they want to do is put down people and make fun and jokes of people. You know what I'm saying? So
You have to
let's
support
help
your
them,
children. If you talk to them and tell them, if you want to wear a pink shirt, go right ahead. You don't have to be afraid of wearing a pink shirt. It's so easy to label someone and judge them, but in society these days, if you strengthen
come and vent and talk to you. Don't let them go outside and talk to people because you know what? That's where the problem
they
starts
might
and
get the
lies.
wrong advice. Hey, Mr. Inderjeet Paul, the president of the Queens Community Lions Club. Good night to you, Miss Joy Ramrod. Good night to you, Narayan Ramroop. That's a guy from Wakenham. Very intellectual guy, very educated guy. Good night.
Probably we should bring him on one night and talk to
That's
him.
right. Apache Warrior said to drink high wine. I'm not sure if that will help that cough, but yeah, he looked hard of hearings, right?
I am hard here sometime.
But it's good because and I know Mr. Inderjeet Paul has some very beautiful and intelligent daughters, and they will be
Oh,
one of
really?
them will be on our Chit Chat show in the future week because she is studying psychology and her platform is suicide. Whatever we're talking
Oh,
about,
really?
that's her belief, and she'll be here. So, Mr. Inderjeet, I want you to give us some advice, comment. How was it raising beautiful daughters in this time and age with all that's happening? And, what advice you have for us as parents to make sure they're doing the right thing because they're always in the good,
I'm
know.
glad you asked him that, but one thing I want to say, Shanaz, and to big up to him too, because if we want our children to grow up to be good children, as parents,
You have
we
to be
have to
role
be the role
models.
model. We have to set the tone and the example for being good human being in the world. So he's doing a
He
fantastic
is doing a
job.
good job because as we always say, we are our children's first teacher. They're watching us. So if you lay down all day watching TV and you don't have values, you don't instill values in yourself, they're not gonna see that value upon themselves. Maybe they'll say, okay, daddy is lazy and he's surviving. I'll be the same. But Mr. Inderjeet Paul is a real estate guy and he's doing a fantastic job raising kids. And the president, I said, you saw the pictures of the Lions Club the other day, the
Yes, I
meeting
did.
with almost 30 intellectual, intelligent, business-minded individual. He's like our father from the Queens Community Lions Club because he is our leader, and we're always looking at him as an inspiration that whatever he could do, and he has faith. He said, you could do it. He tells all the Lions, you could be the president, you could be the leader, because he look at you and your potential, and that's all it takes. Somebody to believe in you and say you could do it.
That's it. That's it. That's how you do it. And it's good when you have people cheering you on, Shanaz, because there's so many people that want to pull people down, always bad talking people. But you know what? I say good morning every morning on Facebook, and I sometimes give you guys a smile because you know what? Sometimes people don't get a smile. I take care of 60 clients on 3 times a week, and Shanaz, I've been there for 15 years.
Well, my census right now is 135, Ken.
Wow. But you know what? I see these
Every
clients
day.
that nobody come and visit them. They have children, they have mother and father. Nobody comes sees them, and I feel sorry for them. And a lot of people don't get love out there, and it's strange to say that. So if you get love, just share it. It's not gonna hurt you guys.
That's right. You know, Friday, unfortunately, one of our patients fell down outside as she was exiting. I look upon her. She was passing by my office, and I stopped her and I said, how are you doing? And how did you finish so early? Did you cut your treatment? Are you feeling well? Not knowing, she insists, yes, I'm feeling fine. She walked outside and she fell down. One of the ambulance driver called 911. I ran outside without a jacket and I called all the nurses, and they came also to help her, and she refused to go to the hospital. So we had paramedics in my office doing a EKG and everything else. And when we told her it's an abnormal EKG, she insists on going to the hospital. So then is the first time in months I heard from her daughter, because of course I had to make a call all the way to Pennsylvania to tell her her mom is going to the hospital, just in case she's wondering or she's calling. So we have kids out there who's not calling their parents, who are not checking up on their parents, who are elderly, who's sick, who's living alone. She was living alone.
Wow.
So we want to inform them, because you can't send home a person who just fell, might suffer from head injury, you don't know. So we want to make sure she get checked out, get x-rays done before she bleed to death or get a stroke at home. And we inform the family that's the right thing to do.
And I see my son Kevin Ramkissoon is watching upstairs, and I'm glad that he's watching, because Shanaz, despite I was not brilliant guy, as I always say, I want my sons to outdo me, to go for excellence.
And he is we have a program coming up with kiddies only. I don't like to give my ideas out there, but there's a lot of things coming up, and we're going to utilize our kids the best way we can. And he's a wonderful speaker, also very intelligent. Hey Eslin Hamid, good night. You watching us from Toronto. Good night, BB Dear Narayan. Mr. Inderjeet Paul, we want to hear your advice. Tell us how you were able to bring up such beautiful and successful young ladies. It's not easy. And how do you observe signs and symptoms of their sadness when they're going through some things? And teenagers, they get trauma all the time.
And I see Inderjeet Paul says good night to Sheena from Inderjeet Paul.
Good night. My beautiful friend Ria Debedine is locked on. I hope your daughter is feeling much better. Arjuna Madre, good night. He said go Kevin. I guess he knows we're talking about Mr. Kevin, the speaker.
I see Narayan Ramroop watching. Thank you very much, my brother.
Good night to each and every one of you. And if you have some good advice on how to raise healthy teenager, when we speak of healthy, not just health, mental health also. COVID and homeschooling is definitely not an easy task. You need to get them connected with their friends, because 8 hours per day we're at work socializing, we're meeting people, we're talking to people. Now 8 hours per day, no, they're home 24 hours per day for homeschooling.
Right.
So you need to get them out, you need to get them on a recreation, you need to get them on a cycle where they could do different things, not just being locked up at home or in their room reading a book. If they're just doing schoolwork in their room, they need to do other activities.
I see Joy Rambaran watching, and you said it right, Shanaz. The other thing is that we have not seen the full effect of the COVID-19, because it just started a couple of months ago. But things like PTSD, to see what was going on a couple of months ago, family died, they could not get to go see them. Family in nursing home, they can't get to see them. The family in the nursing home, they can't see the family, so they're going through a lot of things. So in years to come, there will be a lot of problem, mental health issues.
But it's
have
important to talk about it now. The earlier you tackle these things, the better it is for you. So hey, good night, Sonia, Andrew. Mr. Jacob Ramsamy, how are you doing? Good night to you and the entire crew on Island Zone Radio, our wonderful team here. The beautiful Joy Rambaran, thank you very much. And yes, a wild cane, it's good to discipline kids, but over here you have to know when is enough. In Guyana, I used to see my neighbors kids getting spanked all the time, but abusing your child is not going to tell them you love them, is it?
Right. I don't
Sitting down
believe.
and talking to them
Yeah,
will
yeah.
help.
It's a different attitude now, Shanaz. Years ago, people used to beat their children. Now people really don't beat their children.
I don't
I
believe the
don't be,
beating and that works. I mean, the wild cane kind of works because when you do something bad, actually, the hitting start from school. Because if you're not paying attention to your teacher, you get
whap whap.
wild cane. You get what do you call
Well,
it?
again, ruler and so on.
Ruler.
But the ruler got broke at me anyway. So
You get licks, right? So they start that in school thinking that would work. But I'm not sure.
if that really worked, it is so true. Because I'm still a great human being, if you know what I mean. I get licks
I didn't
too.
get licks from my teacher, but hey.
You've been a rich gal again, and teacher gonna respect you and like you because your
Oh my
dad was
God!
doing a good
One
job.
time I was in Arabic class, and because my grandfather owns that masjid that he dedicated to the community for prayers and paying all the teachers and stuff. One time only, I probably did something bad. Of course, maybe I was talking when the lecturer was talking at the same time. It's during Quranic class, and he came and I forgot was a ruler or something, but he hit my hand. You get 6. Oh my goodness, I took my licks, but my hand was kind of swollen, was red when it was done. It wasn't painful. I guess I didn't pay attention to it. I deserved that
You're
for
tough girl.
talking in class. My grandfather saw that and he walked right over to that teacher. He's like, I'm paying you a salary. Do not abuse these kids. Whether it's my grandkids or anybody else's
Wow.
kids, do not raise your hand and lick them. You
Oh.
talk to them.
Great
Words,
grandfather.
yeah, he's like, words work better.
Wow, that's a smart guy.
Yep.
It's good to have Michael Neely Naidu says she's listening to us, and we got to say, Shanaz, as we said earlier, Debbie Sanyasi, good night to you, my dear. Like we were saying that, we probably would not get a lot of views tonight because, everybody's watching the
There's so much
different shows.
nonsense on Facebook right now, not just shows. There's so much nonsense, and everybody is watching it. So we were debating, should we even go live? Hey, Harikishi, Mina, good night. Thank you very much. Gobin, how you doing? Mr. Madre. Autam Kumar, good night to you. Things change up a lot, of course. Hey, Vijay Singh, how you're doing? Auntie Nalini, thank you very much. Chandra Lal, good night. I will definitely get you that lumber. He is not here tonight, but yes, I still have a hot mouth. My dad used to call me Mata. For Hindus,
Yeah?
what does Mata
Mata?
means?
Oh, Lord, I don't know.
I'm his little mother.
Oh, yes? Mataji, right?
Mata, yeah.
I want to say special hello to Uttam Kumar Isardeen. He's a guy with a spinal cord injury in Guyana. And despite he is in a wheelchair, he is doing so much. He's in races for wheelchair and so on. So people like them, we have to big them up. You know what I mean?
Sometimes we take life for granted. We don't do as much as we should do and take advantage of every day. And then when we look at like my aunt came to Canada with her vision of traveling the world. The next few days, she got sick. She lost her limb. She didn't get to travel. She didn't get to do anything she dreamed of doing.
Wow.
She dreamt of doing.
I see a good friend, Jacob Ramsamy and Carlos Singh watching us. Thank you very much.
Hey, Debbie Sanasi, good night to you. Savitri Bailey, how you doing? Good night, Shazida Singh, good night to you. Yes, Shazida Singh, I'm talking about Uncle Sunu. Thank you very much. Anita Singh, Chandra Lal, thank you very much. Arjuna Madre. Yes, my dad called me Mata all the time. And until recently, I found out Mata means mother. So no matter how small I was, he always said, yes, Mata.
Oh, that's good memory.
Zabida Hussein, how you doing? Good night to you. Let's have a better week this week. Whatever happened last week, don't cry about it. We cannot touch the running water twice,
That's right. Only one time.
That's one time. It's gone. Do not cry over spoiled milk, as some people might say. Just move on. Cheer up yourself. Talk to somebody today. If something is bothering you, the best time to talk to someone is now, because the help you will get might be, something that not even worth worrying about, that we all take so much on.
And for the past, to be honest with you guys, we wanted to talk about mindfulness a couple of weeks now, but when we come on, we get carried away with so many other different things to talk about. And Shanaz and myself, Lord, we could run our mouth all night. So
that's right. Autam Kumar
Jesus.
said, teach your son academic and sports. That's right. Not your sons, your daughters also. I love when my kids are outdoor. I will call them and say, you know what? Go outside from this time to that time, especially when it's sunny. Go play basketball, play volleyball, get outside, do something. Organize your classmates and your friends to go to the park and do something. Of course, the safest way possible, but you have to keep them busy.
And what I like about Uttam Kumar Isuddin's son, you know, as a father, although he's in a wheelchair, you know what? He is investing so much quality time with his son. I see he's investing his time in cricket. So I would not be surprised if his son start to play for the West Indies in a couple of years to come. So I see all his dedicated work that he's doing for his son, and if he can do this, I mean, we all
We
can
all
do
could
it.
do it. And you know what is important? If your child has a special talent or they like music, it's good to encourage them to do what they love. It's not a job if you love what you're doing, you know. You don't have to be a teacher. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a lawyer. The doctors I work with every day tell me they come into my office and I would, pull up notes for them to write or tell them what to do, and I need a clearance for somebody. While doing that, and I'm telling the doctors what to do, what I need. I don't want my daughters and my sons to be doctors. That's a conversation we'll have. They don't have a life. But when you take that oath in medical and healthcare, you take that oath to serve. You're giving up yourself. If the hospital need you 12 o'clock, you have to be there.
Yes, yes.
So you have to have a heart to serve also to be in the medical field.
It's a tough job, to become a doctor. It's
Yes,
really
and it
hard.
has to be well worth it to know when you take care of someone and the doctor will come in my office and say, what do you need? What do you think this patient need? Well, if they need a referral for cardiac, I will get them a referral for cardiac.
That's right. Arjun, he's mentioning something right at the top, and he said thanks. So you can always contact him. He's always such a nice guy. I was supposed to do an interview with him a couple of weeks ago, but he got busy, and we will do it some other time.
Debbie Sanasi, thank you. That is great advice. And she said she talked to her altar because you can't trust anyone these days. You don't know who to trust. So guess who you could always talk to, and the phone line is always open. There's never a busy signal when you call upon God.
That's true, but the other thing is, Shanaz, I was at work today, and Geet and myself, we always texting each other, and I said to her, you know what, I'm so glad that I have you, that I can talk to you, that anything bothers me, or the same thing with her, that it's good that we have that open communication, or else, if we didn't have that communication, I sit down with myself and I was saying, if I didn't have that open communication with my wife, probably would be separated by now.
Because your job is tough to see what you see every day and treat the people you're treating every day. It's, it could be, you might have post-traumatic disorder and all kinds of things. You never know.
Shanaz, and I'm glad you say that. I'll be very honest with you. And for some of you who don't know, I had the COVID-19, the coronavirus, for nearly 2 months. I was home. I lost 20 pounds in about 9 days. I was short of breath, the whole host of things. I'm lucky I'm alive. But when you talk about PTSD, Shanaz, I'm very careful how I live my life and how I look at things. And you have always said in your mind, look at the glass half full rather than half empty. So I am being positive. I'm living mindfully. Every day of my life, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, and I just want to live life, I'm saying? I'm not going to worry if I get sick tomorrow or next month or whatever it is. I'm going to enjoy every day of my life, and that's why we're doing
Make memories
this
with
show.
your children. Do things because that's what they're going to remember you the most. And I have so much memories growing up with, in Guyana. We came here as teenagers, but my dad would take us on bikes all the way from Berbice to Georgetown on a motorcycle, or in his, we had the estate vehicles and so we'd always go for drives and road trips, and that's what you enjoy growing up, doing different things with your parents. If you as a parent don't have time for your children, of course they will turn to strangers.
And then, that's when things will go out of the way. I see Lashley watching. Thanks for watching. Who else we have here? Chandra Lal, it's good to have you on. To Michael Prasad, he is a preacher. You don't know him. I used to go to his church many years ago. I think he just turned 80 years old. I want to say on behalf of Shanaz and myself, I would like to wish you happy birthday. I think he's from Canal in Guyana, but such a humble spirit, such a humble soul, and making such a difference in his community.
I hope
and the
he
churches.
knows the famous George Nandan. He is from Canal number 2 also. So good night to all you Canal folks. And my grandfather was Azor in Canal number 2. Debbie Sanasi, thank you very much. Mr. Madrid said his daughter is studying biology, chemistry, and she's in Rooker's Island studying to be a doctor. Applause to her. It's the best feeling and the best gift you could give your child or your children is education. If you can't educate them, to be successful. And this is what happening in Guyana before. We always send our boys, our sons, motivate them to be doctors and lawyers, to go to school. And our daughters take a step back. You put them in the back burner where you should be putting them in front, because if you can provide for yourself, you wouldn't have any guy taking advantage of you.
You know, I see Susie Shamsuddin tuning.
Good night, good night.
You know what Shanaz, when I think of this, and being a nurse and work in the health industry, I think, and after now I'm 56 years old, one of the things that I want my boys to do, yes, have a good career, but above all, I want them to be a great human being, to be a great son, to be great husbands, and to be a good father. And so I want to be that example. And I'm so glad that although my boys, they're small, 12 and 13, Kevin said the other day, and I said it before, that Daddy, when we get big, we want to live just like you and Mommy. So much love.
Humbly and full of love and open communication.
And we don't think sometimes that our children, as young as 11 years and 12 years old,
Very
could
observant.
pick up.
They are very observant. They're watching everything, and believe me, they are noticing all the things you're doing. And that's what, as role models, we are our first teacher for our kids. They don't have to go to school to learn how to treat each other. They learn that from home.
And everything that you do it with love. You dish it out with love, it's going to take you a far way.
That's right. Auntie Nalini Naidu, good night to you. And that's right. She said she has 4 children and I never beat them. She always talked to them. And believe me, they are well-grown, beautiful, handsome, 3 handsome guy and 1 beautiful daughter. And the last time I saw her, she had red hair. So she's always amazing. Good night. Rohan Naidu, how you doing? Carlos Singh, good night to you. I'm from Skeldon, Berbice. My grandfather is Pir Muhammad, and that's from Pir Muhammad General Store in Guyana, Skeldon, Berbice, next to Maya Cinema. My other grandfather is Sunu. He is the well-known guy in Skeldon Market. He's also the board of directors for that market. So, and it shows that my parents, my grandparents, they are very hardworking. As Auntie Shazida said, she went back to Guyana and she met my grandfather. He is in his 80s, but he has 4 sons. They're all running his business. He's a well-established businessman with his kids always, overlooking what he's doing. He set a good example. He raised good kids, hardworking individual. And if you said we are rich, that's because my grandparents built that, the foundation. They were hardworking individuals. We're not accustomed to anything and everything. We had the best of the best in Guyana because I want to say it's the foundation that your parents and your grandparents built.
And as parents, Shanaz, we want to build, like, for example, I came to the United States by myself, and I came with nothing. I had nothing with me. I leave Hartford, Connecticut with $35 in my pocket, which I buy uniform and so on. But I want to leave something good for my children. I want to start building the foundation for them. And I'm doing that when I pass, they will have something solid to move on with.
Right. My dad also, we came with an intention when my dad brought us to America. My brother was a student in UG. He topped Guyana when it comes to CXC. He was the #1 student around the whole country.
Wow.
In the same class of Dr. Duki. They were classmates, and the whole science class was teachers. They all doctors. They all came out to be doctors. So he came here. My brother was going to University of Guyana, which he was just attending for attendance purposes. He would just show up just to do their tests and their exams. And then the headmaster from UG came home and said, your son is brilliant. He don't have to go to school, but
Really?
he is acing all the classes. But for attendance, please show up for attendance because, it's, and that's my family. My brother is the smartest guy I know. And Dr. Duki used to come to our house, and they were very good friends. So, education, my dad was always pushing my brother because he wanted him to be a doctor. I'm not sure if my brother wanted to be a doctor, but my dad wanted him to be a doctor. And no matter how much, the only time I'll see my brother is when he come home from weekends from UG. And he come home, he like, I need $80,000, I need $60,000
Wow.
because he was living in Georgetown and he would have all the brand name clothes. My dad would give him anything he needs. Yeah, anything he wants, and give it to him because he is studying to be a doctor. So
Wow. Hey, Miss Son a doctor. But something I want to say, Shanaz, when you were saying that, last week, my son Ken brought in a book to choose one of the high school that he wants to go, and I said, son, and Kevin was there too. He's 12 years old, so I said, Ken, I would be so happy if you become a registered nurse. You better your dad, you know what I'm saying? And then the 12-year-old Kevin said, Daddy, let him be what he wants to be. Let him enjoy what
And
he
you
wants
know,
to
your
do.
two sons are very close. They talk to each other.
Yeah.
So for one brother to support the other one, I'm sure he know his brother don't want to be an RN.
So, and that's why I say whatever my boys do, I will support them and encourage them to do. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much, Auntie. She did that thing. She said she knows my grandfather. He is full of memories. And the best memory I have growing up as a child in Guyana is when my grandfather would come from the market and he will bring me all the fruits. Maybe that's why I love so much fruits. He'll bring me all the fresh fruits and fudge and pera and sugar cake, everything from the market. And he was full of love. He would have, I'll be in one hand, my brother will be in one hand, my little sister in his back, because we can't wait for him to get home from the market.
And that's why it's important to leave good memories and let your children and grandchildren spend time with them. Quality time. Let them grow with love. I see your beautiful friend Sonia Chandani. She's a Berbice girl too.
Yes, she's from Berbice. Hey, Mr. Joe Dio, my Ako is my mamu, my mom's brother. That is Pir Muhammad's son.
I see Monica West. Let me see what she says. Hello, Mr. Rampersad. Hello, Rampersad, and you, beautiful host.
Mr.
The
Samad Ali.
The best gift that we have as parents, and she is a preacher, also she's a nurse, can give to our children is to grow them in the admonition of the Lord, teach them about God, and teach them will not depart. And so I'm glad. In fact, when I left my job the other day in Harlem, Monica West was one of the nurses who I trained to do the job. I haven't heard from you a long time, Monica. So take it easy.
She wants to know what you're up to. Well, he has the Ken Rampersad show every Sunday on Island Zone Radio and Facebook Live, where I'm so glad that we have a platform for health and wellness and talk about something important, Hey, Janet Bihari, good night to you. Good night, good night. My handsome Navin. Yes, I have a sweet tooth. What can I say? My handsome cousin Samad Eddie, how you doing? My brother is Saddam. I could proudly say when he graduated from Guyana, topped the entire West Indies, was in the newspaper.
That's nice.
With all his distinctions. And he was one of the toppest students in University of Guyana without even attending a class.
Wow. That's interesting. So Shanaz, we have been on the air now, going on to 2 hours.
I have to get my rest because my chum will be at the voting poll tomorrow.
Oh, you're going early in the morning?
I am getting out there. I have a long day and I can't wait to have breakfast with my special people. It's no school tomorrow and I took the day off, so I'll have breakfast.
Oh, that's nice.
And then I'll get out and vote, and I'll come home and make maybe some salmon and rice and beans,
Well, tomorrow is my long day at work. I'll be working 16 hours tomorrow, but I hope that I could run out of the place and just cast my vote. And Shanaz, another thing I want to say.
You might need to dedicate some hours at the poll tomorrow.
Oh, not at all. One of the things that as I was driving home today, I said, you know what, I should go and vote. You know why? It took me a long time to be a citizen of the United States of America, more than 15 years, and so I want to take advantage of my right to go and vote.
Yes, everybody wants to be a citizen. They can't wait to apply for that citizenship card and, go and exercise your right. As a citizen, you have the right to vote. The vote is your voice. You want to choose those people who will be there doing what you believe is right for humanity and the country. Hey, the beautiful Monica West, good night to you. Arjuna Madrid, good night to you. Hey, Al Sam, good night. Handsome. I must say I have some handsome cousins also living in Georgetown, and I'm always glad to see them and spend some time. Whenever I'm in Guyana, I have a good time by Al Sam.
But the good thing is that they could see you all the time on the TV, on radio.
That's right, even in Berbice. Hey, Mr. Deo Chan Prasad, good night to you. Vote, people. That's what we want to tell you guys. Get out there, use your voice, use those ballots, and vote. Your voice to vote is tomorrow. Nazali, good night to you. Yes, have a blessed night, each and every one of you. I love being in your presence every Monday. It's Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken from 8 to 10 p.m. tonight, I believe. And get out there and vote. The beautiful Lalita Roberts, how are you doing? Sunita Roy, good night to you.
And Shanaz, I want to say, I know we're going to come off soon. I want to say a special thank you to all of you guys for watching our program, Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken, here on Island Zone Radio.
You choose to share your time with us, and we appreciate that from the bottom of
Absolutely.
our hearts, sending all of our love to you. And because Selecta Bolt is still here, I will dedicate this song to all you wonderful viewers out there of Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken. The dancing sensation, the musical sensation is on Thursday. You never know what time, so follow me on Shanaz Musical Sensation page or Shanaz Hussein on Facebook. Instagram is Shanaz Musical Sensation _ SMS.
Hey, 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 hey. Everybody know every time we touch down it's hey, 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 hey. Everybody know every time we touch down it's mash it up, fine, fine, fine. Every man put your hand up, every girl start whining. Splinters. Every girl just start to wine pan a man, no look back at him. Wine pan a man, no look back at y'all. Just wine pan a man, no look back at him. Everybody know every time we touch down. Wine pan a man, no look back at him. Wine pan a man, no look back at him. Just wine pan a man, no look back at him. Everybody know every time we touch down. Oh, we don't have no behavior. Total disorder. Don't cross the border. Don't cross the border. Bartender, hurry up with my order. Boy, the whole place get turned over. Can't play mass if you're afraid powder. Everybody know every time we touch down it's splinters. That's my show. Fine, 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 yo, Holland pull up. Mash it, fine, fine, fine. Every man put your hand up, every girl start whining. Splinters. That's my show. Fine, 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 yo, Holland pull up. Mash it, fine, fine, fine. Every man put your hand up, every girl start whining. No, they can't drink like we. None of them can't fit like we. Can't have energy like we. Full of stamina, full of vibes like we. Vibes up from the time that we reach. Drinks up, now the madness release. We having a good time, We don't have no time for bad mind. Oh, we don't have no behavior. Total disorder. Don't cross the border.
Well, definitely we can't cross the border because it's still locked, but I can't wait to get to Toronto. Hey, Mr. Diamond Vibes, how you doing? Eddie Samad, good night to you. Rohan Naidu, how you doing? Shanti, good night, good night. Savitri, Bailey, don't cross the border.
Fine, every man put your hand up, every girl start whining. Splinters. That's my show. Fine, 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 yo, Holland pull up. Mash it, fine, fine, fine. Every girl just start to wine pan a man, no look back at him. Wine pan a man, no look back at him. Just wine pan a man, no look back at him. Everybody know every time we touch down. Wine pan a man, no look back at him. Just wine pan a man, no look back at him. Just wine pan a man, no look back at him. Every girl just start to wine pan a man, no look back at him. Wine pan a man, no look back at y'all. Just wine pan a man, no look back at him. Everybody know every time we touch down. Wine pan a man, no look back.
Zai Prasad, good night to you. Savitri Bailey, thank you very much. Auntie Nalini Naidu, hey Suri, good night to you. Suraj Singh, how you doing? My beautiful mom, Bibi Mohammed, good night, good night.
Every man put your hand up, every girl start whining. Mash it, fine, fine, fine. Every man put your hand up.
As they say, dancing is the best exercise, so dance like no one is watching and sing like no one is listening, especially when you're in the shower.
Fine, fine, fine. Every man put your hand up, every girl start whining. Do the cuisine, if a drunk and thing. No stush vibes, no modeling. Pure bacchanal, pure reveling. Every girl just start to wine pan a man, no look back at him. Pull on selector, pull it up again. Lost my friend, them I can't find them, but that ain't nothing. I still singing the anthem. Oh, we don't have no behavior. Total disorder.
Well, thank you for being a part of our Monday. You know, something you cannot repay you for is your time. So value your time and value each other's time. Value other people's time. You know, timing is important.
That's right, Shanaz, and we want to say thanks to you too, because you know what, you're from work, you come here and you on the show. To all our viewers, again, I want to say thank you very much for watching this show, the Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken. And please don't forget to share the show with your friends and family. We always try to bring something that's positive, that's going to uplift you tomorrow and always. We always want you guys to live your best life ever and always live a purpose-driven life.
Our show is put together with you in mind. If you would love to hear a song, just send us the link. We'll definitely play it on air for you or your loving family. Hey, Mr. Deo Moti, you're kind of late, but it's awesome having you on board. The beautiful Debbie Sanasi, Surat Singh, how you doing? Radha Totaram, good night to you. My good friend Salman Rohaman, good night to you. And you never know who's watching, because we do have a lot of our friends who are on. They're sharing the link, they're sharing the love, but they're not commenting. So for those of you who are, loving the vibes and giving us your support, thank you from the bottom of our heart. Hey, Surat Singh, thank you very much. Carlos Singh, and hey, I know Carlos loved disco. The best time is the 80s. So SMS, bringing back disco in the 80s. Join us November 15th, 4 p.m. It's a Sunday show, 4 p.m. because I love to cater for everyone. I said I did so many shows on a Saturday afternoon. Some folks have to work. What about a Sunday show for those of who want to relax with their family and watch a show on the big screen television? Just log on to Facebook Live on your big screen TV and you'll have a disco session. Believe me, we will start on time. Until next time, sending you our love to each and every one of you on Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken. God bless you and your family. Protect yourself. And remember, your health is your wealth. Start eating healthy today. Have a fruit. Do some exercise. And you will be the best you could be for yourself and everyone else around you. Take care, God bless, and all the best.
Go out and vote tomorrow.
That's right. Show us your thumbprints, thumbprints tomorrow, and hashtag all of us. Until next time, good night.
You're watching Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken here on Island Zone Radio.